Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be designing an hourly grid layout for the last week of January. I'll be setting up a matching pre-planning half sheet as well, so come plan with me. And I've got these washi tapes ready to go, as well as these pens and markers that I'll be using, this Happy Planner sticker book, and this Planning Thing sticker book, which I'll pull from. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and lay down some wax paper and get started with this week's design. I am still kind of figuring out how much of the usable space that I need in these hourly layouts. The last couple of designs I've done, there's been quite a bit of empty space at the top of the day. So I'm not sure if I will be able to use that in a more functional way this week, or if I need to fill that out with more decor. But for now, we're just going to keep doing what we were doing the last couple of weeks and designing with the thought of keeping the main space in the center open and use any of the extra space around the spread for decor. So I've pulled the Happy Planner Dream Seeker sticker book, and I'm going to be using that for this large copper quote and some copper speckle that I saw in there, just to add a little bit of metallic to this. The copper color metallic, I don't mind so much because you can usually see it at different light, depending on what light you're at. Doesn't really matter. You can still usually read the quotes and things that are on it. So I will be using that and tying it together with these kind of fantastical books from the I Love Books sticker book from the Planning Thing. I'm just creating some collages here. I thought it'd be nice to have a book stack on the sidebar area, basically because it's a nice way to add some vertical decor without really pushing into that usable space. And then I am going to have some of the books kind of floating around there in the upper right-hand corner to offset the decor a bit up there since I have a bit more room. So I'm just really kind of working on the two corners of the spread. Because I have to keep it pretty open there in the center, I really can't do much more than that. So we'll see how we can jazz up these corners a little bit, get some interest. I'm going to pull in some of this vintage looking script wall washi, adding a little bit more texture and dimension behind these books. Just trying to figure out a good way to lay it in. I could do standard corners where you're just kind of doing like a diagonal, but I don't really feel like I want to do that on this spread. We're going to try some different things. I'm thinking more of a linear approach, going up and down vertically on the page instead of at a diagonal or horizontal. We'll see if that works. Trying to minimize, like I said, how much is going into that functional space, but I do want to add a little bit more character to the design. Just trying to figure out how to place everything. I've added in a bit of blue washi here too. That was part of a vintage set I got a while back. That was one of my favorite sets of all times that I've got. So if you need some vintagey style colors and with a little bit of script writing, it's just got a little bit of texture on it, that is a really good set. I highly recommend it. Anyway, so I'm adding in that blue to add a bit more color to the spread since there's a lot of browns and deep tones, very coppery colors. So I do see a few books that have some highlights of blue. I thought I'd bring that out a little bit more to really enhance that color and make it a little more vibrant of a spread. So now I'm adding in that copper, I'll call that copper speckle. It's just like a texture of copper, and I'm just going to layer that on top of some of these areas, giving a little bit more of a fantasy style vibe to things. I cut up the stickers a little bit so that I can really place that texture where I want it and not have to be confined to how the sticker is built. So I layered it in with the books at the top and a little bit there at the top of the books in the sidebar. I also found this circle sticker that's completely copper, which I really like, that bold punch of copper to really tie things together. It says choose joy, girl. So I'm going to bring that in because I could always choose some joy. It's always something I'm working on as far as my own mindset. So we'll add that in. It's a good one for this spread. And I will layer it with a blue colorful box that I found there in the I Love Books sticker book. I was hoping there was some blue in there, and I got lucky to see that the blue was a good match for the color I pulled. So I'm just going to add that again for a little bit more blue color. Now we are on to the half sheet that I've been making this year with this hourly spread. And I've been using that in order to have a place to define events and appointments for the week beforehand. The way that I'm using the hourly layout, it's more for time blocking and pre-planning, and then I go back through and track on the spread what I actually did that day. So I need a place to kind of preset some items, including like events and things that are going to be coming up, so I have it at a glance, along with a master to-do list, which I've been using the Alistair method and creating a master to-do list on these half sheets. So you'll see that set up real quick as I finish out this half sheet. I pulled a highlighter from my set of, I don't know, I think it's salty and sweet are the way they refer to those clean color block highlighters. I just thought that that had the closest color to the blue that I wanted to go for, so I went ahead and pulled that for my color of the week. That's another thing I've been doing, is using like one highlighter color to add a bit more vibrancy to the spread overall, even after I've been tracking. And again, it just helps add to the spread after the pen. So I've set up a week calendar there on the front half of this half sheet, and we'll use that again to track appointments or events or things for the week. So I have that there at a glance before I do my pre-planning and time blocking. I needed to add in just a bit of the decor here too to tie everything together with this theme. So I'm adding in a book and also some copper speckle here, tying it all together. So that's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and pin in the header for this page, which I'll just pin in this week. And I'm using a Tombow Furunosuke brush pen for that. This, I think the cursive adds a little bit to it. So we'll drop that in. And now for the back, we'll need a little bit of decor back here. I'm going to pull in this blue book since the blue is nice and prominent on the spread. And again, a little bit more of that copper speckle. And I'm just placing it around. I'm overlapping it a little bit on the stickers, but I really do want you to be able to see it, which is difficult to see on top of the sticker. So there is a little overlap, but I'm mainly focusing on putting it on top of the white. And then I saw this other Dream completely copper sticker that I thought would be a really good one for this corner. So I'm going to drop that in, adding a bit more of that tone along this half sheet. And now I'm going to set up my Alistair method list for the week. So basically, this list allows you to track your to-dos for the entire week all in one place and just assign a day where you plan to work on it. And if it doesn't work out, you just push it to the next day and the next day. Alistair Method lists are really great for this kind of setup where you can have a lot to do and you may or may not be able to get to it all on one day. So I've done that, I've got it ready to go, and now we're going to go ahead and move over the stuff on the wax paper onto the spread. Basically, just how I had it there, just lining everything up and making sure everything looks good. And I'll just drop it in by hand. I decided that I liked this circle sticker a little bit more kind of offset than I did straight up and down, so did that and trimmed off the edge. And then we'll try to move over this whole section here one go of it. A little bit tricky, but I'll try to roll it off that wax paper just to make sure everything's pretty much where I had intended it to be. And we'll roll it off, lay it down, and then do some trimming here, saving any excess trimmings for a future spread in case I can reuse them. I'll go ahead too and push down all of these clear stickers, making sure that they're well adhered to the page, removing any air bubbles. That should really help finish things out. And then once I'm done with that, you guys, we should be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye.